Wealth flows not from endless struggle, but from a deep and quiet alignment with the unseen laws that govern all supply. Many believe that riches are the result of tireless work, long hours, and constant effort, yet countless examples prove otherwise. There are those who labor from dawn until night and remain in lack, and there are those whose steps seem light, whose labor is joyful, and yet they dwell in abundance. The difference lies not in the work of the hands, but in the work of the mind and heart. When a person is in harmony with the universal law of supply, opportunities arise without strain, doors open without pushing, and the right people appear without chasing. This is not magic, nor is it coincidence. It is law in action. Just as a seed does not fight to become a tree, just as a river does not struggle to reach the ocean, so the flow of wealth follows a natural course once the inner state is aligned with it. Struggle often comes from believing we are separate from the source of our good, that we must wrestle it out of life through force and competition. But the truth is that supply is infinite and cannot be diminished. It does not run dry because one receives more. It expands as consciousness expands. When you align your thoughts with the idea that the universe is rich beyond measure and that you are one with that richness, you step into the current of abundance. Work becomes an expression of your gifts rather than a desperate attempt to survive. Your energy is no longer drained by fear, and your mind is no longer clouded by worry. You begin to see possibilities where before you saw only obstacles, and these possibilities multiply as you focus upon them. This alignment is an inner posture, a spiritual stance that says, "All that is mine by divine right is on its way to me now." It requires releasing the idea that wealth is scarce or that you must compete to obtain it. Imagine standing in a wide open field with the sun pouring down on you. The sunlight is available to all, yet no one fears there will not be enough. Wealth is like this light, and when you stand in its warmth with gratitude and certainty, it naturally falls upon you. You become a magnet for the good you desire, not because you have grasped at it, but because you have attuned yourself to it. People who live in alignment with abundance are often called lucky, but luck is only the visible name for an invisible harmony. They speak in ways that affirm wealth, they think in ways that expect success, and they carry themselves as though they already possess the treasures they seek. The outer results follow the inner state just as surely as the harvest follows the planting of seeds. If your inner soil is filled with weeds of doubt, fear, and resentment, the harvest will reflect this. But if you plant seeds of confidence, gratitude, and expectation of good, the harvest will be rich beyond measure. To align with the law of supply is to step out of the current of fear and into the current of trust. Fear narrows your vision until you can only see the lack in front of you, while trust opens your vision to the abundance all around. As you hold to this trust and speak from it daily, your energy shifts, your actions become guided, and the right connections fall into place without struggle. You begin to understand that you are not creating abundance from nothing. You are simply stepping into the river that has been flowing all along, letting it carry you toward greater and greater good. A single sentence, when spoken with conviction and felt with certainty, can alter the entire direction of one's life. This is not because of the words themselves as mere sounds, but because of the energy, belief, and spiritual law they activate. Words are the tools by which the invisible takes shape. They are the bridges between thought and manifestation, between the unseen realm of possibility and the tangible world of results. When you choose a sentence that affirms abundance and prosperity, you are not merely reciting a phrase, you are giving the mind a new blueprint to follow, replacing the patterns of lack that may have been there for years. Most people speak without awareness, repeating phrases of worry and defeat, and the universe responds by producing after their words. But when you speak deliberately, with faith and expectation, the law responds just as faithfully, bringing forth experiences that match your declaration. The power of one sentence lies in its ability to bypass the restless activity of the mind and go straight to the heart of belief. A carefully chosen affirmation spoken consistently begins to reshape the inner landscape, and the outer world must eventually mirror it. Repetition is the key, for the subconscious mind is impressed by consistency. Just as drops of water can carve through stone, repeated words of abundance carve through the hardened layers of doubt and fear, allowing the flow of prosperity to move freely. The moment you speak this sentence, you are planting a seed. You may not see immediate evidence, just as a seed in the soil does not sprout the same day it is planted, but beneath the surface life is stirring, roots are forming, and change is already in motion. To use this sentence effectively, it must be charged with feeling. Saying it without belief is like planting a seed in barren ground. It will not grow. But when you speak with gratitude as though the thing you desire is already yours, you draw it toward you with magnetic force. The imagination plays a vital role here, for as you speak, you must also see the picture of your life as though the sentence is already fulfilled. If your sentence is about wealth, see yourself living in ease, paying for things joyfully, giving freely, and receiving generously. Let the feeling of this picture flood your heart as you speak, for feeling is the signal that sends the message into the deeper mind where creation begins. This is why it is often said that you do not get what you want, you get what you expect. Your chosen sentence trains you to expect good rather than fear lack. It transforms your inner dialogue, turning the tide of thought from worry to confidence. Over time, the outer conditions begin to shift, perhaps subtly at first, then with undeniable clarity. Opportunities arrive that you could not have orchestrated. People appear who have exactly the answers or resources you need, and events unfold in ways that seem almost too perfectly timed to be coincidence. This is the natural outworking of spiritual law, set in motion by the steady rhythm of a single, faithful sentence. The great mistake many make is to speak their chosen sentence for a short while, then abandon it because nothing seems to happen. They dig up the seed before it has time to grow, but those who persist, who speak it daily with unwavering trust, will see results. The universe does not work on the clock of human impatience, it works on the certainty of divine timing. Once you have released your words into the law with faith, your part is to continue affirming, continue believing, and continue acting as though the answer is already here. Eventually, the outer reality must match the inner word, for it is an unchanging truth that what is spoken in faith will not return void. Every word you speak is a seed, and the soil in which you plant it is the invisible realm of mind and spirit. Just as no gardener expects roses from the seed of a thorn bush, you cannot expect abundance to spring from words of doubt, fear, and complaint. The law is precise and unfailing. Whatever you sow, you shall reap. This is why those who are careless with their speech often find themselves in situations they never wanted, for the universe responds to every word as a command. Your words create images, those images stir emotions, and those emotions become the magnetic force that shapes your reality. When you declare something with conviction, you are setting into motion forces seen and unseen that will gather the circumstances necessary to make it real. Many people underestimate this truth, thinking that idle words have no power, but there is no such thing as an idle word. Every utterance plants something. When you speak lack, you invite lack. When you speak abundance, you invite abundance. The universe does not decide for you. It simply delivers what you have ordered through your consistent declarations. If your life is not as you wish, it is often because the seeds you have sown with your words have been of the wrong kind. To change your harvest, you must change your planting. Begin to fill your speech with statements that affirm prosperity, joy, health, and peace, and over time, you will see the outer reflection of these inner plantings. Consider the way a seed grows. It does not sprout the moment it is planted. It requires time, nourishment, and the right environment. Your words work the same way. When you speak them once, the seed is planted. When you repeat them with belief, you water it. When you hold to them even when appearances seem unchanged, you give it sunlight. Eventually, the sprout breaks through the soil, and the manifestation becomes visible. Too often, people abandon their words too soon, replacing them with contradictory statements that uproot the seed before it can bear fruit. This is why it is vital to speak in a way that is consistent with what you desire, never giving voice to the opposite. Your words also instruct your own subconscious mind, which is the creative engine of your life. The subconscious does not reason or argue. It accepts as true whatever it is told repeatedly. If you say, "I never have enough," it quietly goes to work ensuring you never do. if you say, I am surrounded by wealth and opportunities. It begins to notice, attract, and create the very conditions that match that belief. This is why disciplined speech is essential. Every sentence is an order placed in the storehouse of the universe, and the delivery will always match the order given. You can prove this law for yourself in small ways at first. Speak a positive statement about something simple and watch how quickly it appears. Perhaps you say, today I am meeting someone who will be a blessing to my life. And before the day ends, a conversation opens a door you didn't expect. These small proofs build your faith so that you dare to speak larger declarations, knowing they too will be fulfilled in their time. The more consciously you plant your words, the more deliberately you design your life. In truth, you are never without the power to shape your circumstances, for your tongue is the pen that writes the script of your reality. Whether you choose to speak lack or abundance, difficulty or ease, the law will respond without fail. Therefore, guard your words as you would guard precious jewels, for they carry within them the power to create worlds. Speak only what you wish to see, plant only what you wish to harvest, and trust that the soil of the universe will produce exactly after its kind. To speak as an heir is to know, without doubt or hesitation, that what you seek is already yours by right of divine inheritance. It is the posture of certainty, the quiet confidence that does not plead or bargain but claims. When an heir walks into a room to receive what has been promised, there is no begging in their voice, no uncertainty in their steps. They understand that their name is already written on the title deed, that the treasure already belongs to them, and that their role is simply to take possession. This is the attitude one must have when speaking words of prosperity. Too many approach life as beggars, hoping for scraps, speaking with the tone of one who must convince the universe to be generous. But the universe is already generous, and the wealth of all creation is already yours in spirit. The difference lies in whether you claim it or doubt it. To speak as a beggar is to keep yourself in the vibration of lack. Every word becomes a reminder that you do not yet have what you desire, and the law responds by mirroring that absence. A beggar consciousness believes in delay, in difficulty, in the need to earn approval before receiving. But an heir consciousness knows that the moment a thing is spoken in faith, it exists in the unseen and must eventually appear in the seen. This is not arrogance, it is alignment with truth. Just as the air you breathe is not rationed, just as the sunlight falls on all without measure, so too does divine supply pour forth without limit. Speaking as an heir aligns you with that flow, while speaking as a beggar cuts you off from it. The heir does not worry about how the inheritance will be delivered. They trust in the certainty of the promise. In the same way, when you speak words of abundance, you must release the need to figure out every detail of how they will come to pass. Your role is to declare, to believe, and to prepare to receive. Preparation is a silent language that says, I know it is on its way. It might mean organizing your finances, improving your skills, or clearing space in your life for the new good you are expecting. This is not idle wishing, it is active readiness. The beggar waits with hands outstretched, hoping something might fall into them. The heir moves with purpose, setting the table for the feast they know is coming. To embody this consciousness in your words, speak as if the wealth you seek is already present. Replace I hope with I know. Replace I wish with I receive. Replace someday with now. When you declare, I am living in abundance, the law does not question your authority. It simply begins arranging the outer conditions to match your inner statement. The more consistently you speak as an heir, the faster your life reorganizes around that truth. And when doubt creeps in, as it will, you must answer it with the same certainty, refusing to step back into the tone of a beggar. In time, you will notice a shift, not only in your outer results, but in your very being. You will find yourself walking taller, thinking bigger, and expecting better. Opportunities will seem to meet you halfway, and resources will appear in ways you could not have planned. This is the natural consequence of speaking from ownership rather than need. You will see that the storehouse of the universe is not locked. It is open wide, waiting for you to step forward as the rightful heir and say, I claim what is mine by divine right, and I receive it now. Faith is the light that reveals the treasures already hidden in your path, while fear is the shadow that blinds you to them. These two forces cannot occupy the same space within you at the same time. When faith speaks, fear is silent. When fear takes the stage, faith withdraws. The choice between them is not made once in a lifetime, but moment by moment, with every thought you hold and every word you speak. Many believe they have faith because they occasionally feel hopeful, yet the measure of true faith is its persistence in the face of appearances that seem to deny it. When the outer world shows lack, when the bank account is empty, when the opportunity seems delayed, faith declares, "My supply is here and on its way to me now." Fear, on the other hand, accepts the evidence of the senses as final, forgetting that the unseen is more powerful than the seen. Living in faith means holding steady to your declaration, even when there is no visible proof. It means trusting that the law of abundance is working on your behalf in ways you may not yet understand. Faith says the garden is growing even when the soil looks bare, because it knows the process is already underway beneath the surface. Fear digs up the seed to check on it, destroying the very growth it wishes to see. This is why fear and faith cannot coexist. One nurtures, the other uproots. If you desire abundance, you must learn to starve fear by refusing to feed it with your attention, while feeding faith daily with affirmations, gratitude, and visualization. Fear often disguises itself as practicality. It whispers that you must be realistic, that you should lower your expectations, that the good you desire is too much to ask for, but these are only the chains it uses to keep you in the prison of limitation. Faith is equally practical, but its practicality is rooted in truth rather than limitation. It understands that the most realistic thing in the universe is the certainty of divine law, for this law is unchanging and unfailing. Faith acts on that law, making decisions from a place of expectation rather than caution born of doubt. It invests, creates, moves forward, and prepares for success because it knows the result is inevitable. To cultivate this level of faith, you must treat it as a muscle that grows stronger with use. Begin by trusting in small matters, watching as your declarations come to pass. Each success builds the foundation for larger leaps of faith. When challenges arise, see them not as proof of failure, but as opportunities to strengthen your trust. Refuse to speak words that give life to fear. Instead, answer every anxious thought with a declaration of abundance, as a soldier would meet an enemy at the gate. This is not about ignoring problems. It is about approaching them from a place of power rather than weakness. In time, faith becomes your natural state. You will find that fear has less and less room in your heart, for the light of faith has filled the space it once occupied. You will speak with authority, act with confidence, and move through life with the calm assurance that your good is always on its way. And when the outer evidence of abundance appears, and it will, you will recognize it not as a stroke of luck, but as the inevitable harvest of seeds planted and nurtured in unwavering faith. In that moment, you will know why faith and fear cannot share the same ground. One builds the life you desire, and the other would tear it down before it could be born. Expectation is the silent architect of your reality. Long before an opportunity knocks at your door, your inner state has already determined whether you will recognize it, welcome it, and make the most of it. The law of attraction is not swayed by chance or luck. It responds faithfully to the vibration you hold, and that vibration is shaped by what you expect. If you expect little, life will deliver little. If you expect delays, you will meet them at every turn. But when you expect good without wavering, the law moves to arrange circumstances that fulfill that expectation. This is why two people can walk into the same room and one will see nothing of value while the other finds a door to prosperity. Each has received exactly what they were prepared to receive. Expectation is more than hope. Hope waits, sometimes timidly, for things to improve. Expectation assumes they already are. Hope can be fragile, easily broken by a few setbacks. Expectation, when rooted in faith, remains steady because it sees the unseen and calls it into form. It is an active force that draws to you the people, ideas, and resources you need. The merchant who expects success meets buyers ready to say yes. The artist who expects recognition creates work that speaks to the hearts of others. The individual who expects to live in abundance takes actions and makes choices in harmony with that vision, and the universe responds in kind. The challenge for many is that their expectations are shaped unconsciously by past experiences or current appearances. They look at yesterday's disappointments and assume tomorrow will be the same, but the law does not work from the past, it works from the vibration you hold now. This means you can change your expectation in this very moment and alter the course of what is coming toward you. To do this, you must be deliberate. Begin each day by declaring not just what you desire, but what you expect. Speak as though the arrival of your good is certain, for in the realm of spirit it already exists. You can see this principle at work in every area of life. A person expecting to be treated with kindness often receives it, while one expecting to be overlooked is frequently passed by. Expectation radiates from you. It colors your tone, your posture, your decisions, and even the energy others feel in your presence. Those subtle signals invite responses that match them. When you expect abundance, you unconsciously open doors, take chances, and say yes to possibilities you might otherwise ignore. When you expect lack, you hesitate, you decline, and you miss the very opportunities that could have changed your life. The way to train your expectation is through repetition and evidence. Begin affirming daily that good is always on its way to you. Watch for even the smallest signs that this is true: a kind gesture, an unexpected opportunity, a moment of perfect timing. Each time you notice these, your expectation grows stronger. Over time, it becomes natural for you to anticipate blessings rather than setbacks. Then, without forcing anything, your life begins to rearrange itself around that inner certainty. Living with high expectation does not mean there will never be challenges, but it ensures that when they come, you will meet them with the confidence that they are only stepping stones to something greater. You will look at each day as a field ready for harvest, knowing that the seeds you planted through faith, filled words and thoughts must produce after their kind. This is the true power of expectation. It aligns you with the law of attraction so completely that the flow of abundance becomes inevitable. You are no longer chasing after wealth or opportunity. They are finding their way to you because you have already made a place for them in your mind, your heart, and your life.